Tip number one to master your defense is the position tip. First of all, we need to understand our main defensive position is halfway between this white line and the back glass. I don't want to be stood on here. For me, this is no man's land, okay? Because every single ball comes straight at the feet here. And also then if it does come and hit the wall, oh, I'm too far away from it. If I'm all the way back here, yeah, I can play things in front, but then when things, again, they hit the wall, they're too far away from me, okay? So I need to be in between. So if I'm in between here, I've got a lot of flexibility to maybe move forward or come back. If it comes in front, I can play, but then if it comes off the wall, I'm also in a great position. When you're defending in paddle, a lot of the time you're gonna be moving out of position. You might come to here, you might have to move to here, you might have to come back and come to here. Make sure every time you move out of position, you then reposition yourself back into this main defensive position. Tip number two, and this is one of the most important ones for when you're defending off the wall and in the corners as well. It's called the feet tip. For me, moving your feet in paddle is the most important thing. How many times have you seen this in paddle? Ball comes off the wall and I'm leaning to it, okay? Or it's there, okay? Rather than actually moving my feet properly where the ball comes off and I'm moving with the ball, okay? I've always got to be moving these feet backwards and forwards and using that split step. When you're defending off the wall, 90% of the work should be done with your feet. Your main priority should be moving your feet in the right place, and then the last 10% should be hitting that ball over. Rather than so many players are chasing the ball with this huge swing and trying to get everything on this ball, it should just be a little push. All of that, 90% of that work was moving the feet forward and moving my body in the right place. And then the last 5% was just a little hit over it. Brilliant drill that you can do with this, you can practice with a friend or a coach, and it's something that I teach a lot, is to put your racket down actually and just practice. Someone feeds a ball, it comes off the glass, and you just gotta move forward and catch it, because that will get you in the habit of moving the feet there and just get into the ball rather than trying to reach it or lean it or having a big swing. Tip number three is the racket tip, and this is how you're going to hold the racket, your preparation, and then the actual swing itself. People complicate this swing so much, and it's literally three positions. I go one, I start here, that's my normal defensive position. Two, I'm here, and then three, push. Okay, I've literally come from there to there. I'm calling it a swing, but it's a push really. I'm here, push, push, push. The ball does the exact same thing every time. I get so much consistency with that. It's flat, there's no top spin, there's no slice, it's the same shot over and over again. And that's why the best players, they get everything back and it's the exact same every time because their technique is so simple. Real quick, if any of you guys are looking for a new paddle racket to help them defend, then make sure to check out my online paddle store, everythingpaddle.co.uk. I've got tons of great rackets there, loads of tools to help you choose a paddle racket, and you can contact me personally if you need any help choosing. This leads me perfectly onto the next tip on defense, and this is the shot tip. This is the way you're going to be hitting this shot, and that is completely flat. So we're not playing with any spin, top spin or slice or side spin. We have to make sure we hit this ball completely flat. Now, flat offers the most consistency, and if you master playing flat, it's so easy to be consistent, and you'll notice the pro players, you watch them at the back of the court, everything goes back flat. A great way of learning flat is to try and trap the ball against the glass with your bat. So if you go in with angle like this, you see how the racket is gonna bang against the glass because you got an angle. But if you go completely flat against the wall, you'll see you'll trap it and then you won't hit your racket on the glass, and that's because you're hitting it flat. So now then when you try and play your forehand ground stroke here, make sure there's no angle, and I'm literally going 1, 2, 3, and that push completely flat. Push, push, push. Now when you play against players, two players that are great volleyers at the net, if you hit completely flat, it's very hard for them to attack from that ball. It comes fast and low, and there's not a lot they can do with it. Tip number 5 is the tactic tip. The mindset's the most important thing when I'm back here. First of all, I've got to imagine I'm not trying to win the point when I'm defending. Get that out of your head. Stop trying to play winners down the line or passing shots. You're just trying to get the ball back. And the only goal, the only thing that should be going through your head is, can I win the net position? In defense as well, you've got to be so patient. You should just be constantly thinking, get it back, get it back. And then eventually you're going to be looking for a lob, you play that, and then you take the net yourself. Number 6 now, in defense, we're going to be talking about the lob. The lob really is an attacking shot because you're trying to win the net position from it, and then you're going to be moving to that net to try and attack and win the point. First of all, we stay in our defensive position here. Okay, we stay there, we move to position 2, like we said earlier, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then we lob. 3, okay? And we want that ball to just bounce past the white line up there. Again, so many players, I see them doing this. They're up here, ball comes in, and they're like this. Massive swing. Swing is so unnecessary, and they lose control. Well, really, all you need to be hitting is 1, 2, and then 3. Simple, short swing, flat, and I'm looking to get nice height on the ball as well. The question is, when do I lob? Now, some people think that you should lob when you're under pressure on a tricky ball. But the problem with that, you actually lose a lot of the control and the lob can go wrong. It can go really short and you're setting them up for an easy smash, or it could go out. My advice would be to lob on an easy ball. So imagine you're back here, you're defending, I'm playing my shots, I'm getting the ball back, I'm getting an easy ball, loads of time, okay, lob, down the middle, and now I can take the net position. Okay, number 7 is the first turn tips. Let's say, for example, you're on this right side here and you're defending and the ball comes in across your body here and I don't have enough room to play a backhand. Like it comes in, you know, like here, okay? I can do that, but it's very awkward, okay? So it's much easier when the ball comes in for me to turn round like that, okay? I'm following the ball round. The exact same on this left side here. Ball comes in and I'm stuck against the glass here. So instead, ball comes in and I turn. Biggest thing with a turn is don't panic and think, oh, I have to do a turn, because then you're just gonna get in a muddle. Try and naturally follow the ball round and then the turn should come naturally. I'm just thinking, follow the ball. If I follow the ball round, naturally my feet do the rest and I'm turning. When I first started playing paddle, when I first did one of these turns, it almost happened without me thinking. I just did it and then suddenly afterwards I was like, oh, I just did the turn in the corner, because I was just following that ball naturally round. 90% should be the turn in the feet, and then the last bit is just that little hit. So all this effort here, ball comes in, and then a little hit. Tip number 8 now. So this is the turning that's right in the corner here. This is the horrible one. First of all, you don't have to turn if you don't want to. So let's talk about first sidewall and backwall. Ball comes in and it's gonna go like this. So for that one there, I just stepped out. The alternative is that you did a turn like this, and you turn like that, but you don't have to do that. And for me, if you're right-handed on this side, you could just step out easier. And then the other one is the ball comes in, it goes backwall and then sidewall. So it comes in 1, 2, 3. Again, I don't need to turn on that if I want. I can, if I want, turn around it like that, like we just spoke about on the previous one, but you don't have to. On this side here, again, you don't have to turn. If it comes in sidewall, backwall, it can come in 1, 2, 3, and I step out, or it goes backwall, sidewall, ball comes in, and I just play there. For me personally, I would advise that you turn on this side. If you're playing on the left, you're right-handed, or if you're on the right and you're left-handed, you turn when it goes sidewall, backwall, because then it ends up on your forehand. So the ball comes in, and then I turn around it nice and naturally. My advice would be though, to decide what you're gonna do. So if you always play on the left, tell yourself, right, okay, if it goes sidewall, backwall, I'm gonna turn. And if it goes backwall, sidewall, I'm not gonna turn. You've got to keep your racket low, you've got to keep moving the feet, and then when you do swing, it's little. Number 9 is the sidewall tip. I know this is a nightmare for a lot of players. Again, you've got to have patience. You know, for me playing now, I've received the ball off the sidewall thousands of times. So over time, I've just got better and better. It's gonna be tricky. I'll give you some tips to help though. First of all, keep this racket low. Then when it comes, you've got to push and you've got to block. Okay, so don't have a big swing. The minute you come up there, it's gonna be so hard to get your time in and get the ball over the net. So everything, when the ball comes in, push. I've literally just come from there to there. Ball comes off the sidewall, push. The next thing is make a decision. Are you gonna let it hit the sidewall, or are you gonna play it before? If you're committing to the ball hitting the sidewall, you've got to step away. And if you're committing that you're gonna hit it before, you've got to step forward and low, racket forward and low, but make a decision. A good kind of rule of thumb though, if it's gonna hit early on the sidewall, you let it hit. It's gonna hit this area here. That's quite an easy area. Ball comes in there. It's quite easy to let it hit. But if it's gonna come back here, that's when you're in trouble, and that's where you've got to try and get it before. Final tip on mastering defense is how we're gonna deal with these horrible low fast balls. When an opponent puts spin on the ball when they volley, it's going to come off the wall faster, but it's also going to come down. So you've got to anticipate that. Same as what we've done all day, racket low. We turn side on, we come into position 2. The knees are slightly bent as well. I'm getting low with it, but the most important thing is my racket's low. This is where you can drop your racket head slightly and use a little bit of the wrist to get it out. Not too much, but you know, if I've got a ball there, I might just dig it out like that. To make sure you see how close I am to this glass here, really tight to the wall. I'm behind the ball and I'm lifting out low to high. Bit of a mindset tip here you can get every single ball as long as your feet are in the right place. And I know this because I've taught clients that aren't the best defenders. They've been able to dig balls out this far off the ground because they're in training, because I'm feeding them basket and their feet are in the perfect place. Then when it comes into a game, you can get every ball, but like we spoke about earlier in the day about moving the feet, it's just about getting our feet in the right place and then hitting that ball over. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree or disagree with my tips, or if you have any defensive tips of your own. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out Everything Padel.